השופטת רחל פרייר שברה השנה תקרת זכוכית משמעותית במיוחד כשהפכה לחרדית הראשונה שנבחרה לכהן כשופטת בית המשפט העליון במדינת ניו יורק. בריאיון מיוחד שקיימתי איתה מוקדם יותר היא מתייחסת לסערת הרפורמה המשפטית, הפגנות הנשים בבני ברק וגם על הדרך הייחודית שלה לפסגה. ג'אדג' רחל פרייר, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So most Israelis feel that our political system has lost the checks and balances as the judiciary system has overstepped its authority. What are your thoughts about the situation in Israel at the moment, the calling for a judicial reform and the demonstrations against it?
So, as I explained to most people who ask me that question, as an active judge in New York, I'm not allowed to discuss any politics of either American politics or any other countries as well. All I can do basically is just share my perspective, my journey, and what I've learned from my own experience. So I first of all don't live in Israel, so I really can't even comment on the system that I don't have any personal, really first-hand knowledge. But I will talk about my journey and the politics that I had to deal with in my election for the state Supreme Court. And what I found from my own journey was very interesting. Because of the work that I do with Ezrat Nashim, I have political opposition to whatever I do. And what I learned was that I had to go outside my comfort zone. I had to go outside my Dalet Amot, and I had to go and make friends from people who I would never have thought would support me politically. So what I did learn is that sometimes when you're in a position and you don't think that you have the political alliances or political connections that you need, and you have to step outside and make friends, sometimes you'd be surprised that by going outside and dealing with people who you never thought would be supporting you end up being your greatest supporters. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, I had a tremendous amount of support from the African American and Latino communities in Brooklyn. So here I was, a Hasidic woman running for state Supreme Court, and you would have expected that the district leaders who were Jewish would be supporting me. But ultimately, I had to go to the support of the other community leaders and other district leaders. So that's basically the most that I could explain about dealing with opposition within a political framework based on my own experience.
Mm-hmm. So I would like to ask you, in the United States, the political rank appoints judges and legal advisors who are subjected to the political echelon. How then do you explain the Biden administration's criticism towards Israel when the government is merely trying to do exactly what is happening there in the U.S.?
So again, I apologize if I won't be able to answer any questions about the American president. Mm-hmm. I could just say that in America, the way to become a judge, there are different roads to becoming a judge. There are certain judges that are appointed by the mayor, appointed by the governor, and appointed by the president. And there are certain judgeships that are elections, where the people elect you. When I ran for civil court, it was the people that elected me in the primary and then in the general election. And when I was running for the state Supreme Court, it was a primary that was done by district leaders, and there were about 44 district leaders in the Brooklyn area that I was running in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going back to the left-wing demonstrations, did you see the ones held by women in the Haredi city of Bnei Brak?
No, I did not. But in terms of people making protests, in America, we have also a constitutional right to freedom of assembly. So long as you're not violent, people are allowed to stand and make protests. So that's really a part of a democratic society. But I did not see that particular protest that you're referring to.
So I will tell you, they went to demonstrate inside Bnei Brak, closed roads to try and somewhat free Haredi women from the Haredi world.
Oh, I thought I didn't hear about that. I come here to visit my children and my family here. When I come here, I don't really go and check out which protests are taking place.
Yeah, okay. And as a groundbreaking Haredi woman yourself, how do you feel about the fact that the Haredi parties in Israel have no female candidates on their list? Do you think it will change in the future?
So I'm not really sure if I could answer your question directly, because you're asking me a direct political question. But if you ask me a question more about women in general, I could probably answer that question more in general, how I feel about women. I feel that women, if they're given the opportunities, then we can rise to the positions that are available. It's all about respecting what the needs of the Haredi women are. So I was able to become a judge and go through an election sticking to all my rules. For example, as a Hasidic woman, I don't shake hands with men. And I went around campaigning among many non-Jews and Jews alike, and everybody respected my values and my rules. So I think in any society, if people are given the accommodations that they need, if the women are given opportunities and accommodations, then I believe women can rise to higher levels. And women are certainly capable, no matter which community you come from. You can be successful as a woman. My story taught me from my journey that you don't have to compromise your values. Whatever is important to you, whatever connects you to God, my religious values, I didn't compromise any of them to reach the level where I am today. And no one should ever be put into a position where they think, oh, I have to compromise my values. No, you go home, you light the candles for Shabbat, you do whatever you have to that keeps you religious, and you can still be successful. So if women are given the accommodations, I think they could be very successful.
So let's finish with maybe telling me about your amazing organization.
Actually, I started this organization really because I thought I would just help some women. I never thought I would become the director and the founder as well as a volunteer paramedic. It was just a group of women that helped me. They wanted to join in America, one of the greatest volunteer ambulance services, but in America, the Hatzalah organization doesn't accept any women. They'll treat women, but they don't accept women to be part of their organization. And women had come to me, they said, look here, there's a need. We want to serve and help women, especially when they have an emergency giving birth. So I thought it would be my mitzvah of the month. I would help these women get accepted, and I would go on and continue with my merry way. But it turned out that there was a lot of politics involved, and the women had no opportunity. And I was told, start your own. So that was a long journey. My mother became an EMT together with me. And then my daughter came in, and she helps me. And the politics that were always blocking me to succeed in Ezrat Nashim is the same political blocking that I had in my race for the state Supreme Court. The same opponents who tried to block me there tried to block me to become a Supreme Court judge.
You're such an inspiring woman. Supreme Court Judge Rachel Freyer, thank you so much for this interview. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Hatzlacha Rabba. Thank you. Bye-bye.